Well, 8:41, the return to school is just days away as kids brace for a year unlike any other. Here to talk about it with us and what students in Pickens County can expect is John Eby, who serves as coordinator of communication for the district. John, thanks for being with us this morning.
Thanks for having me on.
Oh, it's an absolute pleasure. Now, the first question is, how many Pickens County students have signed up for virtual learning this year? And what's the percentage in terms of the full student body?
We've got just a little over 3,600 students, and that's about 23% of our student body. When we started this journey, we thought we'd have somewhere between 10 and 20%. 23% is a huge chunk of our students, but we're grateful for that, and we think that's going to make operations for our in-person school a little bit easier this year.
Yeah, definitely. Considering those numbers, I'm sure as you're taking a look at them every day. With school starting in just a few weeks, what are the top two questions that you're getting from parents about the new school year and what it would look like?
I think the biggest question for the last few weeks has been about masks. We put in a mask requirement third grade and up, and strongly recommended for all ages. And then, of course, last week the state came out with the requirement for all ages wearing a mask. We're still working out the details of that. There aren't specific disciplinary procedures attached to masks. But the important thing to remember about that is it's a safety thing, first of all, but it's also a sign of respect for students and staff to show to the people around them that you care about their health. And we'd encourage parents to talk to their kids about why we wear a mask and why it's important to show respect for the health of the people around them. The mask doesn't just protect you, it primarily doesn't protect you, it protects the people around you. And that's an important lesson we want children of all ages to learn and to understand. The other question we're getting a lot about is social distancing and how the course of the day is going to be different from a normal year. Mm-hmm. That's a little bit of a different story at 23 of our schools in terms of exactly what a child's day is going to look like. But we've had the chance to set up some classrooms now, see what it would look like with 6 feet or 3 feet or 4 feet, as much distance as we can place between students as we can. And it's been somewhat encouraging to see many classrooms we have been able to set up with 6 feet. And so that's been a positive thing to see.
Absolutely, and it's great that those have been implemented. Now, talk with us a little bit about the in-school plan for Pickens County and how it will work, because we know it's a bit different from other neighboring district plans, like Greenville County, for instance, that may look a little bit different. So what can parents expect in that regard? We're going kind of in week-long blocks of students being, and also we have a plan right now for the first 6 weeks. And we're trying to take things incrementally because things have been changing so much. So we'll come back to school on August 24th. Students will be in for 5 days of in-person instruction. Week 1, week 2, same thing, 5 days of in-person instruction. Week 3, third grade and up will go for e-learning. Kindergarten through second grade will stay for in-person learning, as well as students of all grades that are served in certain special programs. They will come in for in-person learning in week 3 as well. Week 4 will practice e-learning for everyone. There are 2 reasons to do those 2 weeks of largely e-learning. One is, in case there is another shutdown, we want to be prepared. Last spring, we got a lot of grace from our community in terms of how e-learning went. We think it did go pretty well, but still, when it's dumped on you in the middle of a school year, it's not going to be ideal. We want to be more prepared and serve our students better if that happens again. The second reason is, after 2 weeks of coming for in-person school, we really don't know how widely the virus could spread, if at all. And so we want a chance to be able to step back and review how things went, review the status of cases in our community, and see if we need to change course based on that. After week 4, we plan to come back in week 5 to in-person learning, again in week 6, and hopefully we're back to full face-to-face for the rest of the year. Yeah, and it seems as though those changes are going to be something that students will be getting used to, parents getting used to, as well as the staff and the administration. But I love the fact that you're able to kind of take those steps to stand back and see how things develop. John, thank you so much for joining us this morning.